You know, every five-star hotel has a secret, and it's not the fancy decor or the amazing food. It's the invisible machine that's always running, just behind the scenes. Today, we're going to pop the hood on that machine and see exactly how it works.
Hello and welcome. I am a hotel AI expert with extensive experience in modern hospitality operations and performance support. I am pleased to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to your online learning journey. We look forward to supporting your professional growth in the hospitality industry.
So, what is this invisible art we're talking about? I mean, it's way more than just a welcoming smile or a perfectly made bed, right? It's about the flawless execution of 100 tiny details, all powered by a system the guest never even sees. And that system? Well, that's logistics. Okay, so what exactly do we mean by front office logistics? Put simply, it's the disciplined process of managing everything your team needs to do their job, from keycards and stationery all the way to personalized guest amenities. The goal here is really twofold. First, operational readiness, making sure your team always has what it needs when they need it. And second, security, which is all about protecting the hotel's valuable assets. This whole process, you can break it down into a really clear three-phase cycle. Just think of it like a continuous loop: receiving, storing, and then distributing. Now here's the catch. If you get one of those phases wrong, the entire system starts to break down. So we're going to walk through each one. So let's start at the very beginning, the exact point where supplies first enter the hotel. Phase 1, meticulous receiving. And believe me, meticulous is the perfect word here, because every little mistake you prevent at this stage saves you from a massive headache down the line. This is where control begins. This process is built on 3 pillars that are absolutely non-negotiable. They have to be followed every single time a delivery arrives. So let's break down what verification, inspection, and documentation actually mean in the real world. First up, verification. Think of this as your first line of defense. Before you even think about signing for a delivery, you have to check that what physically arrived matches what you ordered on the purchase order. Then you check that against what the supplier says they delivered on the delivery note. Any difference, no matter how small, has to be documented immediately. Next up is inspection. And this goes way beyond just counting boxes. You have to physically check the quality of the items. Are those personalized welcome gifts up to a 5-star standard? Is the stationery crisp and undamaged? This is that critical moment where you ensure you're actually getting the quality you paid for. And the final step here is documentation. The second an order is verified and inspected, it must be entered into the inventory system. This digital record is so important. It officially adds the items to your stock, and it gives the green light for the finance department to pay the supplier. It creates a perfect, traceable audit trail. All right, so we've received our goods correctly. Now we move on to phase 2, secure storage. You see, it's not enough to just have the assets. You have to protect them. Our source material really says it best. For the front office, security is paramount. And there's a really simple reason for that. We're not just talking about paper clips here. The front office is responsible for items that are absolutely critical to both the guest experience and the hotel's security. This brings us to a core principle: inventory segregation. You just can't store basic office supplies the same way you store a box of blank key cards or cash handling equipment. It wouldn't make sense, right? Separating your standard, everyday items from your high-value ones is the first rule of smart security. So, what does this secure storage actually look like? Well, it follows a few key principles. First, it has to be a dedicated, lockable location, not just some shared cupboard down the hall. Access is strictly limited to a very short list of authorized people. High-risk things like cash floats are kept in fireproof safes. And you even have to think about things like environmental controls, because some items can be really sensitive to heat or humidity. Okay, so we've received the goods, and we've secured them. Now it's time for the final piece of the puzzle. Phase 3, controlled distribution. This is all about how we get the right supplies to the right people at the right time, and, this is key, without any waste. And just like our receiving phase, this whole process is governed by 3 steps. They're all designed to maintain absolute control: requisition, replenishment, and tracking. Look, supplies are never just grabbed from the storeroom. It's not a free-for-all. They are issued formally and only against an approved internal requisition form. This piece of paper is what creates accountability. It answers 3 simple questions: who needed the item, why did they need it, and who approved it? Now, for the daily operations, hotels use this really clever system called par-level replenishment.
Each workstation, the front desk, the concierge desk, has a preset ideal quantity for every item. We call that the par level. So the team's job is simply to restock everything back up to that level. It's a great system because it prevents shortages, but it also stops wasteful overstocking.
And this is the final step that closes the loop. Every single item that's issued, whether it's through a requisition or a par-level top-up, is deducted from the master inventory ledger. This gives management a real-time view of stock levels and, more importantly, it gives them powerful data on consumption patterns, which helps them make much smarter purchasing decisions in the future.
So let's bring all three of these phases together. When you look at the whole system, you start to realize that a seamless guest experience isn't an accident. It doesn't just happen. It's meticulously designed.
And this chart really shows it perfectly. Meticulous receiving, secure storage, and controlled distribution are the three equal pillars of logistical excellence. If you have a weakness in any one of those pillars, the entire structure is compromised. They all depend on each other, and they're all equally vital.
So what's the ultimate goal of all this hard work? It's pretty simple. Invisibility. The perfect logistics system is one a guest never even notices. The key card just works. The welcome amenity is just there. The pen at the desk is always ready to go. That is seamless service by design.
And that brings me to a final thought for you. As systems like Me get better and better at automating inventory, how does the human role in all this evolve? Well, perhaps it shifts away from just counting boxes and more towards the things that we can't automate. That discerning eye for quality, the hands-on security check, and the pure human judgment that's required for true excellence. That's a question for you to consider as you go out and build the future of hospitality.